All right, thank you, everyone. This is an EGU News in-depth report with Jennifer McGee Sumner, who is a PE teacher at Irene B. West Elementary School. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so today's discussion focuses on healthy learning, healthy minds, and healthy bodies. And Jennifer is still leading PE classes for students at Irene B. West Elementary School. So let's start with, what tips do you have for families and students to be active during the school closures?
A great question. The tips I have, honestly, the first and most important tip of all is to get your family on a routine. Getting that structure, getting that whatever normalcy you can pull back into your house during this time is of the utmost importance. Kids thrive on structure. They thrive on that routine of waking up and knowing what their day is supposed to look like. So parents who are working in the house, out of the house, they can actually structure it around their schedule to help them out, because during this time, it's crazy. Parents are teaching, they're juggling work, they're juggling household things, responsibilities, and when that comes into play, it's stressful. And if you don't have that outline of what's to be expected day in and day out, that stress builds up, not only for adults and the parents of the family, but for the kids. And that anxiety flows over to the kids. So that is the biggest tip I have for keeping your mental well-being intact, is to definitely set up immediately a structure, a routine. I would even say so much as to set up lunchtime, dinner times, so that you don't skip those. Because if you get busy doing something, you kind of forget about those things because you're home. You're kind of getting so involved in what you're doing, and you kind of pass over some of those important things during the day.
Yeah, it's amazing how we take advantage of the structure of a regular school day in the school. And when we are now in distance learning, having structure is just as important, not only for the students, but also for the family unit as a whole. So
Yes.
Let's focus a little bit on physical education activities. So all of our families and students don't have access to bikes or even exercise equipment to stay healthy. So what tips do you recommend for that?
So you actually don't need anything at all other than just your body weight. The exercise that I'm sending to my students on a daily basis are exercises that they don't need any equipment other than just their arms, legs, body, and their mind, because they have to be there in order to do the exercises. But I created a fun daily challenge for my students. And so every day there's a new challenge for them to do, and it requires nothing other than just them doing it. They don't even have to go outside. I do have some students that have access to the backyard, but unfortunately they don't have a lot of space. So they're very limited. And these exercises that they can do, they can roll out of bed and they can do it on the floor. They don't need a lot of room. They don't need a lot of space to be able to do this. I do encourage them to do it with a family member, which makes it a little bit easier and definitely more fun, but they don't need any equipment. And I know some kids would love to have, equipment to do some of these things, but during this time, if they were to be able to get through these routines with no equipment and just body weight, then they're doing great.
I know that a lot of students are antsy staying indoors and on their property with the shelter-in-place order. So those tips right there are very helpful. So what can parents do to help encourage or motivate their children to get up and move?
Honestly, it's making something fun for everybody. And I know with families that have such a wide range of kids and ages, it's hard. But, this is the time to take advantage of it and maybe spend some quality time with each one and it doesn't have to be a PE exercise. It can just be an activity, something that is a mental well-being activity that teaches them how to concentrate and how to calm themselves, or how to relax a little bit more if they're, a little bit high on the anxiety level. Some of these things are critical to the development of these kids during this time to teach them how to naturally calm themselves, which in turn makes them healthier, which teaches them how to focus. And that is a PE activity, is the mindfulness, because it is a mental health, physical health for PE. So I strongly suggest parents, making sure that they take time for their kids as much as they can and doing a fun activity, something that they like, that, again, you have different age kids, so try to pull them together so it's not taking as much time, but trying to really kind of focus on something that each child likes and spending a little bit of time with them on those things.
And what other advice do you have for staying healthy during these times?
Oh, nutrition. Definitely nutrition. Nutrition's a big one right now because obviously a lot of people are not going out. They're having groceries delivered. Things are still limited on what you're able to do. But again, it comes back to the structure and the routine of trying to map out a nutritious game plan for your time at home, and even pull the kids into cooking, teaching them how to cook, teaching them how to be hands-on in the kitchen, and maybe, taking that active participation role in the family responsibilities, and really enforcing, it's important for their bodies to be fed the proper foods, and during regular times. Some of these kids who are messaging me at midnight, and saying, oh, I just ate dinner. You got to get on a structure. And, there's a lot of, with fasting going on right now, I've actually made myself available late at night for kids because it's hard. They have a really hard time to keep with their customs and try to do all these things without a routine sometimes. So it's hard, but I know that they can do it. I know these kids in the district are amazing kids, and the parents are doing an unbelievable time with juggling everything in life. But definitely the routine and the healthy diet. I can't enforce that enough. That's very critical right now.
So Jennifer, one more question here. So as a PE teacher, your daily schedule has been thrown in a tailspin within itself. So how is it like teaching PE through distance learning? Is it hard?
It's definitely challenging in a sense that you have to take the kids' word for it. You can't physically see them do everything. So it's hard, but it's definitely, I like it. I can't say it's fun in a way as much as, because I miss my kids at school. I call on my kids. I love my kids. I love seeing them. That's why I hold as many Zoom meetings as I can to discuss things with the kids and just be there for them. So that part I absolutely miss more than anything, but I think it's a good challenge for the kids to really step it up and kind of take personal accountability for their own health and their own well-being right now. And I think it's a good change, but I'm ready to go back to see my kids and be hands-on.
Yeah, that would be great. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us. Jennifer is a PE teacher at Irene B. West Elementary School, and she provided us with some tips on healthy learning, healthy minds, and healthy bodies.